Hello everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again for some more Deus Ex. I've been having such a blast with this game and this sort of like role-play, completionist attitude that I'm taking towards it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it too, but let me know if you have any feedback or suggestions, just throw them in the comments under the video and I'll read and respond to as many as I can. So last episode, we learned quite a few interesting little tidbits about the NSF terrorists. According to the commander here, the NSF was stealing ambrosia to get it out to the general population. A noble enough task, but their methods could definitely use some work. This isn't really enough for me to think that they could be the good guys, because, I mean, you know, hostage taking and blowing up landmarks, it doesn't really make somebody a good guy in my eyes. The commander also kind of had another bombshell he dropped on us. It was an accusation that the government was creating the plague that's sort of ravaging the nation, possibly the world. I mean, I don't know about this one quite yet, but we have seen some connections that could support this with the FEMA appointment from the opening cutscene. We got our Illuminati duo there, and still, though, it's kind of a wild accusation to make without more evidence. Some other things I'd really like to know about, just kind of miscellaneous things, is I'd like to know if ambrosia is a one-time cure-all for the plague, or do people have to keep taking it? Which, I mean, would be a kind of frightening prospect, because then whoever controls the actual cure would control just about everybody else. So that makes sense to me. And then also, we have UNATCO apparently lost faith in our brother's performance, which is why we were sent there to handle pretty much the entire mission, when it kind of seemed like he could have helped us out. Maybe we could have done a bit better. He also has like that very big kind of non-lethal push, and we haven't really seen anybody else kind of push that agenda. We also don't know who the Illuminati duo in the beginning put in place to take care of UNATCO. Apparently there's somebody who is not such a great guy. So we'll have to kind of keep our eyes out for anybody suspicious. I want to know more about that. Overall, there's a ton of stuff I of course want to know more about, but let's keep moving along, or I could be speculating like this all day. So next up, we're going to be going to UNATCO HQ, but if you guys remember, last episode I said that I wanted to actually go install my augmentations, which I can do so at this little medbot like cache we have right here. Once we get into actually UNATCO, there's going to be a whole mess of exposition. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to be reading literally everything I can find to just kind of learn more about what UNATCO is all about. Cool, so we've got this muscle aug and a strength aug. Muscle strength is amplified with ionic gel myofibrils. Damn, these are some words. Basically, it just allows you to lift heavy objects, extraordinarily heavy objects. So this Tech 1 is only increased slightly. So this was really useful in Deus Ex Human Revolution. I don't know how useful it's going to be in this game. What's this one do? Combat strength. Increasing an agent's muscle speed several-fold and multiplying the damage they inflict in melee combat. You know, I do like this, because this could help us whenever we need to do non-lethal takedowns. We can kind of sneak up behind somebody and hit him with our baton, and the baton should do more damage. Considering I'm also not planning on going pretty heavily into low tech, I think that's the right call. Oh, so I have 1,800 points. Is there anything here that is worth upgrading? Oh, maybe low tech, actually. I don't know. I could also hold on to it. I would kind of like to upgrade my computers. Or, you know, my pistols would be good too. Let's not yet. Our objective, report to headquarters for debriefing. Let's give it a little save, and oh, there's our brother hanging out. Hey, brother.
We've got the island secured. How did things look in the statue? The leader surrendered, so they were after Ambrosia. A month's supply for the East Coast. We think they've taken it back to the city. I didn't know UNATCO handled the Ambrosia distribution. Manderley will brief us shortly. UNATCO makes sure the limited supply of vaccine gets to government agencies and key industries. It's good to finally see some action. Just keep a level head. You're doing well so far. Now get inside. I'll meet you in Manderley's office, level 2.
Cool. Meet you there. But I think there's our first connection with UNATCO maybe not being such a great organization, because that Illuminati organization does have access to... Oh, let me just close the doors. The Illuminati organization does actually have access to the Ambrosia, and apparently so does UNATCO. Newspaper. So Meade bucks Congress. This is our president. Defying Congress for the third time this year, the president unilaterally paid United States late dues to the United Nations. Like good tenants, we must pay our rent on time, he told reporters. Leaders of both parties criticized the move. Where does he get the cash? Asked Senator Rydon. He's a Democrat, clearly from some budget item yet to be approved by this Congress. The Republicans were no kinder. This council member has been betrayed, and so has America, said Senator Onso Liverpool. He's a Republican from California. The Congress came together to approve a UNATCO presence on U.S. soil, but we did not write a blank check. No, sir. A superpower does not pay rent. Okay, so the things that stick out here for me are, where does he get the cash? Because, I mean, you can't fund anything really without Congress. So, who's his benefactor there?
Way to go, sir. I thought Gunther was a goner.
Thanks, man. It was kind of touch and go there for a minute. Yep, kidding around. Shannon, ammunition is
It's my first day too. I'm pretty excited.
Hey, we're like first day friends. Both me and you. You still have that crazy eye thing going on. Oh, hey, here, look. So what our president looks like. Apparently not doing so great. His approval ratings are kind of insane.
Academy. You probably don't remember.
I remember you, Private Lloyd. Trust me, I remember you. So ammunition is disappearing again, so we're changing the door code for the comm van near the helipad. The new code is 0451. Alex. Alex, I think, was the guy that's been contacting us, like, over our little comlink thing.
I don't understand. What are you doing?
I'm hacking into your shit, bro. Is this our first hack? This might be our first hack. So, at some point it's going to give me access here. It's based on my skill. No real emails. Hey. I just read that the government regulators... I don't have a ton of time here. Uncle Sam is gradually taking control. Rule by executive order is now the norm. Goodbye, due process. Oof.
I've got to watch the doors.
So that's another hit against our president. It seems like he is potentially abusing his powers.
Check in with Manderley on level 2.
Okay. I'll do that after I explore a fair amount. I feel like checking in with him is just going to advance the story. So UNATCO, United Nations Anti-Terrorist Coalition. I don't think we actually knew what it stood for before. Those heals me for, like, nothing.
Come on in. The retinal scanner can read blood vessel patterns right through your sunglasses.
Well, that's handy, because I don't want to take them off. What is this? Planning your visit to Liberty Island. And I can't really read any of that.
Remember that Mr. Manderley wants to see you. Level 2. His secretary, Janice Reed, has your login and password.
Awesome.
Hell of a first day.
It was a hell of a first day. Thanks for being supportive. So I don't have the key, but I can lockpick in. Ooh, okay, I didn't even check to see if they care about that, but maybe they don't. What is this? So we got a weapon modification for accuracy. That's gonna go right into my pistol. Let's keep it up. Don't need those things. Why not? There it is. We got a baton, a newspaper, anything under? Yeah, so we got a nano key. That's gonna go onto our key ring. We don't have to like keep track of all of the different keys that we have. They're just all gonna automatically be added to this like future key, which is pretty cool. I already got one of those, don't need that. We got a newspaper. Oh, more dirt against the president from some news outlet called Midnight Sun. US Prez sells out. New York. President Philip Riley Meade's executive order repaying the United States debt to the United Nations is viewed by many as a positive step towards global peace, but others sense darker motives at work. Some sources have privately commented that the order is nothing more than an endorsement of a new world government and its private military, the United Nations Anti-Terrorist Coalition. Okay, that is like textbook Illuminati right there. Few can forget Meade's impassioned declaration that the shattered Statue of Liberty would not be repaired, but instead stand as a reminder that terrorism must be eradicated if we are to be free. It was shortly thereafter the Liberty Island was selected as the location of UNATCO's headquarters, their dubious charter highlighted by the mysterious and still largely unexplained circumstances behind the statue bombing. That bombing happened a while back. We learned that in one of the last episodes. So no doubt the president's words will be remembered even as he sells out his country to foreign powers that have sought to destroy it for nearly 3 centuries. Joe Green. Okay, so here's kind of I'm thinking this president might have a connection here to this Illuminati organization. Like we've seen a couple things now which are kind of damning, I feel. Like every one of them is just kind of building a case against him. Doesn't break. Book. UNATCO Handbook. UNATCO and the press. Because UNATCO will often deal with situations that cannot easily be contained, agents may unfortunately need to interact with the press. If you are not trained for such interaction, do not speak with journalists, regardless of nationality. They are skilled in misdirection and propaganda. Refuse comment. Remember, security procedures are our first line of defense. Secrets save lives. Always refer to reporters at crime scenes to UNATCO information officers and fact management teams. Not really devastating. Any corporation, any company.
Didn't know the NSF had so many people in New York.
Yep, that's a useful comment. Any company or organization has to be careful about what they say to the press. So this is locked. Let's see if that key I got. Yeah. Let's close it. Ooh. Is this? Yeah, it does bounce! Fun. Alright. Hang on. Here you go, bro. That's yours. So I got a multi-tool, which is awesome. I got a lockpick, which is also awesome. Anything out here? No? Nothing to read? Guess not. Let's keep going. Just a nice little room to get some shit. Anything else up here on level 1? Nope. Let's go down. We got like a conference room, another office unlocked.
You found your office.
My office?
Did Janice give you your login? I guess not. Let's see. JCD, password, Bionic Man.
Cool. So Jay Reyes, greetings and nanotech briefings. This is addressed directly to me. Hey Trebbot. Guess I'll have to get used to calling you JC around the office. Not sure where they came up with that, but at least they gave you the same last codename as your brother. Kinda seems like codenames shouldn't have anything in common because they're supposed to be codenames. Anyways though, whatever they're calling you, it's good to see a familiar name on the roster. My first job here has been to read up on your augmentations. I'm beginning to see why you found classes so easy. Every neuron in your head has been augmented. For example, the voice in your head from an operator, someone here at HQ, able to handle the scanning equipment in your skull and broadcast advice over your infolink, leaps fully formed right into your temporal lobe, bypassing the eardrum and its sensory neurons, and it's perfectly inaudible to everyone around you, of course. Not to mention that the nanites clinging to your axons can both receive and transmit symbolic information, so if you ever need help, don't sweat it. Someone at HQ probably already knows. Come by if you want to hear more. This is great stuff. This right here is not great stuff. This little end part here, that's actually kind of terrifying. I don't want people just in my head, they can just flip a switch and be like, oh, look what you're doing. That's kind of terrifying. So Jay Reyes, Nano Augmentation, and you, this is addressed to G. Herman, the guy we rescued, A. Navar, and JC Denton, me. So I was asked by the regional medical coordinator to forward this information to all of you. I do so without further comment. By now, you've heard about the upcoming transition to nano-augmentation. It's coming, but not as soon as you think. UNATCO only has one nano-augmented agent, with a second now just graduating from the academy. It will be years before the program leaves the laboratory. So I think the one nano-augmented agent is our brother, because he kind of looks similar to me. Like, we've got the weird face thing going on. And I'm the second one, because I just got out of the academy. We were there with old Private Lloyd, being friends, who I remembered. Your mechanical augmentations are not obsolete. Some agents express concern that they will be walking junk in 10 years. So we know who that is. One agent expressed their concerns in an anonymous email saying, "Will be sold at flea markets, old grey golems for scaring the children. So what about my legs? What about my life?" There's some, like, misspellings all over in this mess. We know who this is, though. This is definitely Agent Herman. He already, when we rescued him, was kind of concerned that, like, he was going to become walking junk. So keep some perspective. Prosthetics remain the only proven technology for enhancing human abilities. Those who make the sacrifice are appreciated, commended, and saluted as heroes. So this one is addressed to me, only to me. Nano-augmentation stressors. Nano-augmented agents will often encounter stress created by resentment among fellow agents, particularly those who have been mechanically augmented. In an effort to secure freedom and liberty for those under their protection, many UNATCO agents have chosen to sacrifice social acceptance for mission performance by surgically replacing limbs and organs with mechanically or electronically enhanced equivalents. But your nano-augmentations point the way to the future. Thousands of microscopic living organic machines that exist in symbiosis with your body. Because such augmentations create only minimal disfigurement, they are likely to be a source of friction between you and other mechanically augmented agents. But it is important to understand that UNATCO is an organization where individuals must act in concert. Each is important to the whole, and a mutual understanding is essential to teams comprised of diverse human and augmented agents. If you have any further questions or wish to discuss these issues, please feel free to send an email to Carver Eschels to make an appointment. And welcome to UNATCO, Agent. Very cool. So they're already trying to get ahead of this. I guess they pretty much figured that this sort of next generation of agent is going to cause some friction. Okay, so we got this little cardboard box. What else do we got here? So we got 2 books. Let's check out this one. UNATCO Handbook, UNATCO and the Public. In carrying out their duties, UNATCO agents often come in contact with the public. You are a peacekeeper, and your first objective is to safeguard human life. Though terrorists may see an advantage in harming civilians, UNATCO agents do not. Issue a warning before firing at a suspect, and always instruct bystanders to get down on the ground. Refrain from firing into large crowds. Every civilian hurt is collateral damage. However, keep in mind that no civilian with a clearance below Angel/0A should be trusted and may be a potential spy. Anyone can be a spy, and secrecy is our ally. Remember, we're all in this together. This isn't really damning at all. Like, I mean, actually, this is a nice to hear. This is 1 point in UNATCO's favor for me. Angel/0A, though. Okay. UNATCO Handbook. Welcome to UNATCO. Classification. The UN has 9 levels of security above top secret. This manual and all material that is not otherwise marked is classified as Angel/0A. So I guess this is the first level above top secret, 0A. If you are not 0A or above, report immediately to your supervisor or face disciplinary action. Other classifications will be explained upon reaching higher clearance. In its effort to combat terrorism, the UN has created UNATCO for swift deployment of a coordinated force to counteract any insurgent operations. You are justifiably proud to be a part of this organization. Your physical capabilities place you in the upper 1% of national ground combat units, while your mental capabilities have been honed to sharpness by the UNATCO Academy. But as part of a larger organization, you Also understand the necessity to heed orders from your superiors without hesitation. Your superiors are typically briefed on matters for which you may not be cleared, and hesitation on the part of an agent can result in serious impairment of mission objectives and attendant casualties. UNATCO has faith in you, and this faith will be rewarded in due time as your operational capacities are increased. Brave the darkness, for you carry the torch of freedom. That sounds familiar. Brave the darkness, for you carry the torch of freedom. I wonder where I've heard that before. And also, I mean, this necessity to heed orders. So basically they're saying like, oh, go kill all of these people. But you may not know the reason why you're killing all those people. Like maybe they have this plague or something. I don't know. But I'm still going to question orders. I'm going to, you know, have a brain. An augmented brain that they can hack into at any time, I guess. So next, let's check out this place, this
Your
conference
partner for
room.
the next assignment, Anna Navarra, is in the adjoining break room to the east. Maybe you should introduce yourself.
I will introduce myself in just a sec. I just kind of want to check out this room. What is this?
JC. Mind if I call you JC?
Not at all, man. Can't really read these, they're a little too blurry. I'll bet you this is a picture of the dev team. It's pretty cool. We got a camera.
Glad to have you aboard.
Thanks. What's this? Oh, this looks like a briefing for our first mission. So this is where we met up with that informant. This is where the front entrance was. We just got a bunch of little X's, I guess. It's just like, those are objectives. And this is where I was dropped off. What's this say? Who's JoJo's boss? What's... I can't... And is that a C and an A and a question mark? This is too blurry. I can't really tell. Ooh, I want in there. Here's a question though. Can I use my rocket launcher in here with him? Ooh, ooh, ooh. I guess so. Nobody cares, y'all. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Flare darts. What are those? Okay, so there's 3 different types of darts. We got our trank darts, which, I mean, we know how those work. They're cool. That's probably what I'll be using the most. These... I don't know what the... Maybe the darts are just lethal? And what, flare darts, are these just like hyper lethal or something? Okay, cool. Let's keep moving. Go into the break room. Here's our lovely president again. Is this Charlie? Can't really read, it's too blurry. This is like some Duke Nukem 2 shit here, like the side-scroller one. Or I guess maybe some Duke Nukem 3D as well. Neat. Hey y'all.
Are you sure you pressed the right button?
I do not make mistakes of that kind.
Your hand might have slipped.
No, I wanted orange. It gave me lemon lime.
The machine would not make a mistake.
It's the maintenance man. He knows I like orange.
So you think the staff has some kind of plot?
Yes, they do that on purpose.
My new partner, JC Denton.
Nice to meet you.
Don't tell me you're going to wear those sunglasses during a night operation.
My vision is augmented.
Better to look good than to have the distractions of another agent who needs backup.
Heck yeah.
Forgive my interruption.
Even though that was
I just
sarcasm.
wanted to say that I look forward to working with you, Agent Navarra. Also, excuse me, I've got to be briefed by Mr. Manderley.
I do not expect you to perform as well as Agent Herman, but the mission will require us to do more than frighten the NSF with our baggy coats that make us look bigger than we really are.
Whoa.
I am prepared to perform my duties.
For instance, not to be a man running into enemy lines without coordinated military assault.
No problem.
She's kind of a bitch, but we did get that message saying that we're probably going to like face some difficulties. So maybe she'll warm up to us later. I'm just trying to get this on the stove. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I'm gonna try one more time. That's it, that's good enough. He wanted some orange juice. Yeah, it's coming out with purple. Wait! No, it's orange juice. What am I, like King Midas with like... But like with orange juice, or like orange soda. Here you go, man. I got it some for you. You want it? Okay. Candy bar. Public banking terminal. Let's go ahead and hack into this, see if we can get ourselves a little bit of extra money. I definitely need to upgrade my computer skills, because we're only getting about half a bar here. A little over half of time to, like, dig through stuff. That's just not enough time to read through all the things I want to read through. What's this? So, public computer terminal. This is a bunch of bulletins. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Alright, we're gonna go through all of it. So, terrorism, crime or conscience? The question must be asked, is the global rise of terrorism a haphazard response to a decimated economy, or is there a pattern? Does UNATCO face coordinated ideological opposition? Some groups, Silhouette in France for instance, have declared a meme war, or war of meanings in their terminology. They spread email and pamphlets that lampoon the UN's proposal for a one-world democracy, a tedious exercise in rudimentary propaganda. They portray freedom as obedience, democracy as tyranny, and UNATCO as the perpetrator of terrorism, an idea as shocking as it is reprehensible. So here's an interesting thing. It seems that, because I thought that this was kind of like not really known, but like seems like the UN is straight proposing a one-world democracy, and I guess inherently it's not a horrible thing. But combined with the knowledge that we saw that opening cutscene, I'm suspicious as fuck. Other organizations, such as the self-proclaimed Revolutionary National Secessionist Forces, we've met them, we've dealt with them a lot, claim allegiance to the meme war, but are in fact no better than common criminals. They desire territory and wealth at the expense of society at large. Their civil war is merely a smokescreen for criminal activity. Any population can be quickly turned against such revolutionaries by simply educating them about the UN policies and goals. This is from Joseph Manderley, our director. I remember our brother mentioning Manderley. So, this one as well. Are all of these from them? No? So I'm wondering if this is more like a bulletin board, like a place where memos are, more than like kind of a news outlet. So it might not be public beyond UNATCO. So terrorism, threat profiling, symbolic attacks, the Statue of Liberty bombing, the desecration of the Soviet War Memorial in Berlin, the department store shooting sprees on Orchard Road in Singapore, are the recourse of the weak. They serve only to call attention to a group or cause that is of no more than marginal interest to the public. But what distinguishes true terrorist activity is the gradual escalation towards genuine acts of war. Fringe groups now have access to technology that allows direct assaults on governments, including the classic trio of nuclear, biological, or chemical weaponry, NBC. Jesus. But aside from direct assaults on a nation and its people, indirect attacks can cause considerable collateral damage. Rogue software can disrupt financial markets, communications, and military operations, while encryption programs allow terrorists to coordinate smuggling operations in secret right over the net. Drugs, guns, and illegal immigrants, and even heavy equipment such as armored vehicles and cruise missiles are routinely traded across borders, aided and abetted by such software. UNATCO, the first organization with the technology, manpower, and authority to cope with such threats, is an idea that is long overdue. Another one from Joseph Manderley. This is terrifying. So apparently, just these like small, or maybe not small, but like these terrorist organizations now actually have access to the worst weapons known to man: nuclear, biological, and chemical weaponry. Good lord. Okay, so I can understand the creation of UNATCO. Let's just hope that this organization has the best interest of the people in mind. At least so far, I'm kind of suspicious of them. Know your enemy, NSF. Yeah, these, I definitely want to know more about these guys. I feel like we're going to be dealing with them quite a bit. So the National Secessionist Forces, NSF, remain a very real and increasingly widespread terrorist threat. 10 years ago, in response to the Sporting Weapons Act of 2042, splinter groups from nearly every state militia refused to surrender their rifles, grenades, and landmines and other collectibles prohibited by the act. Unified under the charismatic leadership of Leon Woods, these isolated fanatics eventually formed the NSF, with Woods assuming the rank of general. Their intended goal, the liberation of Washington, Montana, Oregon, and Northern California. Okay, this, in my opinion, is a massive hit against the NSF. It looks like this Sporting Weapons Act of 2042 called, so rifles, grenades, and landmines all got prohibited by this act. Rifles, I mean, even today there's a lot of debate about what rifles people should have access to, but there really shouldn't be any debate about grenades and landmines. Definitely not. Well, let's move on. This, though, in my opinion, is a hit against the NSF. While Woods died during his infamous last stand in 2045, his war machine continues what can only be termed an occupation of the United States, aided by an encrypted network designed by dissident computer scientists from San Francisco and Seattle. Currently, the UNATCO cryptography division has had minimal success in cracking their communications, requiring more direct intelligence gathering techniques to be utilized. The UN has straight declared war on the NSF. There's another terrorist organization, Silhouette, famous for inserting 20th century style commercials into the net broadcast of the World Cup of 2050. Silhouette favors feats of spectacle over violence. So what are they, like, anonymous? Printed circuits. Part of this nutritious breakfast, the announcer told children in one of the World Cup commercials, "You ain't mech till you eat mech. A mech boy chews a memory chip. Boys who eat organics get stomped by their post-human classmates. Mech boys in UNATCO helmets and metal boots take turns kicking another boy." Yikes. Despite their numerous pranks, these intellectuals, artists, and labor organizers pose a serious threat. They are well armed and have been linked to the murders of numerous European politicians and journalists. They will not hesitate to use lethal force. Maybe not. Maybe not anonymous. Or maybe the natural progression of anonymous? I don't know. This is kind of disturbing, though, this commercial. And I guess that was the point. The triads. So we know about the triads. They're everywhere in games. UNATCO's surveillance of Hong Kong is currently a high priority given the renewed threat of the Chinese organized crime in the form of the triads. Despite being a model of prosperity and technological leadership for decades, Hong Kong persists as a haven for organized crime. The triads, namely the Luminous Path and Red Arrow, vie for control of the 10 trillion credit shipping business, much of which supplies Greater Asia with pirated technology, illegal drugs, and weapons. Most disturbing of all, the triads preach an ethic of techno-piracy that has found enthusiastic support among small shopkeepers and businessmen who often aid the gangsters and buy their bootleg software. Gullible and greedy, this army of middlemen remains insensitive to how their violations of intellectual property and copyright laws damage the global information economy. I feel like we were getting good information by this up until Gullible and Greedy. This seems like propaganda. It kind of seems, honestly, like the triads might be friends to the little guy now. Like the small shopkeepers and businessmen. So maybe they don't like strong arm him anymore because they don't have to. Generic other threats. So UNATCO operatives have identified over 1,250 terrorist organizations active in the world today. Some are too small to currently present a serious threat, but all eager to see one or more governments topple. I wonder just how many terrorist organizations there are in the real world, because that seems like an excessive amount. Groups such as the Templars, based in Europe, and X-51 Western US will be dealt with in subsequent volumes in Know Your Enemy. I want to read more about Templars. I am a huge fan of Assassin's Creed, and I love how the Templars have been portrayed in that series. It's been very cool. I really want to learn more about them. This X-51? No clue. Is this like Area 51? I don't know. Cool. So thanks for kind of joining me for that. I think we learned a lot of pretty cool stuff there.